In the cool autumn of 1968, the shimmering waters of the Mediterranean Sea witnessed an extraordinary union, forged on the secluded island of Scorpios. Greek shipping magnate Aristotle Onassis and the widowed First Lady of the United States, Jacqueline Kennedy, vowed to unite their lives, but their marriage was far from the romantic fairy tale one might imagine. This union sent shockwaves through the elite circles of Europe and the United States, sparking outrage among the highest echelons of society and captivating the public's attention. At 39 years old, Jacqueline remained the embodiment of Camelot's shining heart. Her elegance and grace, however, were overshadowed by the tragedy that followed her husband's assassination, and now her decision to marry the 62-year-old Onassis seemed, to many, like an act of betrayal. Onassis, a man who had become a symbol of ruthless ambition, was known for disregarding conventions and rules, but for Jacqueline, he was a source of solace and support during turbulent years. Their union became a true enigma, blending tragedy, contradictions, and undeniable charm, leaving an indelible mark on the history of the 20th century. However, this dramatic narrative cannot overlook another key figure, Maria Callas, the legendary opera singer with whom Aristotle Onassis had maintained a complex relationship for many years. In 1968, when Onassis and Jacqueline were just beginning their life together, his relationship with Callas was far from over. Then came the final blow, betrayal, so deep and cruel that it shattered everything that remained of her hope. Maria learned through rumors that Onassis was planning to marry Jacqueline Kennedy, and the news struck her heart like a dagger. Onassis had always boasted of his desire for the ultimate in life: money, women, and happiness. Now, his marriage to the world's most famous widow seemed like another conquest, a step perfectly aligned with his grandiose persona, continuing his never-ending pursuit of greatness. For Maria, this was nothing short of devastation. For 8 years, she had endured emotional pain, humiliation, and endless waiting. She had even facilitated Onassis's divorce from his first wife, Athena Livanos, believing it would clear the way for their future together. Yet, to her horror, the man she had given up everything for was preparing to marry someone else. Initially, Onassis denied all the rumors. He reassured Maria that his connection with Jacqueline was nothing more than a publicity stunt and that she remained the only woman he truly loved. Desperate to believe him once more, Maria clung to his words, hoping that the man she adored would not betray her so cruelly and publicly. But soon, the truth became impossible to hide. Aristotle had already married Jacqueline Kennedy, and their union became a global sensation, dominating headlines around the world. The revelation devastated Maria. The emotional blow was so overwhelming that it triggered a nervous breakdown, and she withdrew to her Paris apartment, where she tried to regain her composure. But the isolation and the bitterness of betrayal only deepened her pain. Meanwhile, the intrigue surrounding this love triangle intensified, particularly because Jacqueline's sister, Lee Radziwill, played a key role in introducing Jacqueline to Aristotle. Lee, not only an elegant and charming woman, but also a well-connected socialite, arranged the meeting aboard Onassis' luxury yacht Christina in 1963. It was there that the intricate web of relationships began, capturing the attention of the world. Lee and Onassis, who had previously been romantically involved, remained intertwined in both personal and professional matters, adding an air of mystery to their encounters. The backdrop of rumors about Onassis's personal life laid the foundation for his growing feelings toward Jacqueline, eventually leading to one of the most talked about unions of the decade. Jackie Kennedy's journey to marriage with Aristotle Onassis was fraught with personal tragedies, yet these hardships became an integral part of her search for solace and stability for herself and her children. During the summer months of 1963, as she was grappling with some of the darkest moments of her life, Jacqueline first met Aristotle on his luxurious yacht, Christina. The introduction was arranged by her sister, Lee Radziwill, and this encounter played a pivotal role in the development of her relationship with the Greek magnate. The tragedy that soon befell her only deepened her connection with Onassis, as both were mourning the pain of loss. That summer was overshadowed by the death of her infant son, Patrick, on his second day of life. He had been born prematurely at 34 weeks, which led to numerous medical complications. Patrick suffered from respiratory failure, and doctors worked tirelessly to stabilize his condition. Despite their efforts, his lungs could not function properly, and he passed away from lung failure caused by underdeveloped lungs. This loss plunged Jacqueline into a profound depression. Just a few weeks later, another devastating event occurred: the assassination of President Kennedy in Dallas. Remaining by his side in his final moments, Jacqueline fell into even deeper despair. This moment became a turning point, leaving an indelible mark on her life. As time passed, while trying to cope with her grief, Jackie developed a close relationship with architect John Carl Warnick, with whom she had worked on the design of the Eternal Flame at Arlington National Cemetery. Their professional collaboration soon blossomed into a more personal connection, sparking rumors about a potential marriage during their trip to Hawaii in 1966. However, despite their deep emotional bond, their relationship could not withstand the financial difficulties they faced. Warnick confessed that he was unable to provide the level of lifestyle to which Jacqueline was accustomed, ultimately leading to the end of their romance. At the critical moment when Jackie was enduring her darkest hours, Aristotle Onassis offered her more than just comfort. He presented her with a chance for stability and a life away from the noise and unrest that had constantly surrounded her. This proposal became her true salvation, the opportunity she had so desperately sought, a place where she could seek refuge from all the grief and losses she had endured. With each passing day, her concerns for the safety of her family only grew. After the tragic death of her husband, she remained under constant media scrutiny, becoming a target for the paparazzi. Onassis promised her shelter from this chaotic world, offering protection and the possibility of living outside the reach of the cameras. When the murder of Robert F. Kennedy in 1968 further rocked her world, it only strengthened her resolve to seek peace and security for herself and her children. The death of her brother-in-law reignited her fears, forcing her to relive the emotions she had experienced after losing her husband. She feared for her children's safety, terrified that they could become targets of harassment. These fears drove her to make the decision to leave the United States, to seek refuge somewhere far from the world she had known. Thus, on October 20, 1968, on the secluded Greek island of Scorpios, her marriage to Onassis took place. The wedding, arranged in strict privacy, was motivated not only by love but by a desire for personal safety. Only the closest family and friends were present, emphasizing the intimacy of the moment. Nevertheless, their union caused an uproar in society. After adopting Onassis' surname, Jackie lost the privilege of Secret Service protection, which immediately drew more public attention to her. She became a target of harsh criticism, and her new alliance with the Greek magnate was met with societal disapproval. Questions about her relationship with the Catholic Church also intensified, as her marriage to Onassis was seen as contradictory to moral and religious norms. However, Cardinal Richard Cushing dismissed these rumors, calling them absurd. Despite all the media frenzy surrounding their marriage, Jackie managed to find in her union with Onassis not only financial stability, but also the emotional support she needed to rebuild her life after all the hardships. Onassis was attentive to her children, maintaining their connection with the Kennedy family and actively supporting her personal projects, including her successful start in the publishing industry. However, despite moments of closeness, their relationship was not without challenges. Jackie's life with Aristotle was marked by both tremendous highs and deep lows. One of the most significant challenges to their marriage was the considerable age difference between them. When they married, Onassis was 63 and Jackie was only 39. This significant gap sparked many rumors and speculations about their relationship. Many saw Jackie as a vulnerable woman entirely dependent on Onassis's wealth to provide a comfortable life for herself and her children. But in reality, Jackie was far more than just a figurehead. Her influence as a public figure, her negotiating skills, and her ability to engage with powerful individuals were valuable assets to Onassis, especially as they navigated high society together. Jackie used her position to promote the preservation of cultural heritage and to actively engage in the publishing world, while Onassis enjoyed the doors her status opened for both of them, expanding opportunities in global business and politics. Like any marriage, theirs was not without its struggles. Onassis' frequent absences, his endless business trips, and rumors of infidelity created a tense atmosphere, leaving Jackie longing for stability and emotional connection. And while life with Aristotle was filled with luxury and unimaginable comforts, it was also accompanied by inner doubts and uncertainty. His private estates, such as Scorpios, an island he purchased in 1962, became a symbol of their unconventional marriage. Onassis transformed this originally baronial island into a true paradise, with magnificent villas, guest houses, and even a helipad that ensured privacy for his family and close friends. It was here in 1968 that many significant moments of their life together unfolded. Beyond Jackie, not unfamiliar with luxury herself, also contributed her share to their combined wealth. Having grown up in a palatial apartment on Park Avenue in New York, she retained her property in the city after her marriage. Her new apartment on 104th Avenue, with a stunning view of Central Park, became a true gem. Though she frequently retreated to Lata, the family estate in East Hampton, her life with Onassis was a complex mix of overwhelming luxury and inner uncertainty. This truly imperfect, yet strikingly charismatic Greek magnate, with his contradictory traits, wove his life as much in the public eye as in private, leaving behind a legacy that became an inseparable part of 20th century history. The final years of Aristotle Onassis' life were marked by profound personal tragedy that left an indelible impact. In 1973, he suffered the devastating loss of his son Alexander in a plane crash, a blow that severely impacted his health. Aristotle's beloved son, Alexander, inherited his business empire, died in the crash at the young age of 25. The accident shattered Onassis. On that fateful day, Jacqueline herself had suggested that Alexander take the controls of his father's plane. The rapid deterioration of Aristotle's health led to his death from respiratory failure on March 15, 1975, in Paris, at the age of 69. After his death, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis faced significant challenges regarding the inheritance due to restrictions imposed by Greek law on non-Greek spouses. 2 years of intense legal negotiations eventually resulted in her receiving a payout of $26 million from Christina Onassis, the daughter and sole heir of the magnate. Abandoning further claims, Jackie began a new chapter in her life, one that combined a return to her roots with fresh endeavors. In 1975, she permanently returned to the United States, dividing her time between a vineyard in Manhattan and the Kennedy family compound in Hyannisport, Massachusetts. She also decided to embark on a new career as an editorial consultant at Viking Press. However, her time at the publishing house lasted only 2 years, as she resigned following disputes over a book that depicted a fictional conspiracy to assassinate Ted Kennedy. Her career continued at Doubleday, where she served as assistant editor, working on notable publications, including works by Larry Gonick and books about the animated universe, and the works of prominent figures such as Carrie Simon and Diana Vreeland. Jacqueline remained deeply committed to public service and continued to actively fight for the preservation of cultural heritage. One of her most significant accomplishments was leading the campaign to save Grand Central Terminal from demolition in the 1970s, as well as her involvement in the battle against the construction of a skyscraper that would overshadow Central Park in the 1980s. Her efforts to preserve historical landmarks were widely recognized, and she also worked to protect the home of artist Frederick Edwin Church. Despite stepping away from active political life, Jacqueline continued to support certain initiatives. For example, she participated in Ted Kennedy's presidential campaign in 1980 and supported Bill Clinton in the early 1990s. She also provided advice to Hillary Clinton on managing life in the White House with a young child. In the later years of her life, Jacqueline faced significant health problems. In 1993, she was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and underwent a course of chemotherapy. However, her condition rapidly worsened, and on May 19, 1994, surrounded by her loved ones, she passed away in her Manhattan apartment. Her funeral was held at St. Ignatius Loyola Church, the very place where she had been baptized and confirmed. She was buried next to her first husband, President John F. Kennedy, and their children Patrick and Arabella at Arlington National Cemetery. We would love to hear your thoughts on her life and the years spent with Onassis. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We eagerly await your response.